Namaste, beloveds. This is Motherward Wisdom, Valerie AMES, and I have a very important message. Let me keep grounding myself. Um, that is coming through. Um, I've been making a lot of videos lately. Yesterday, um, I wasn't feeling so well, and I didn't take time to do any of this. And I just came on and spoke what was coming through me, what I had received. And today I woke up at 3 o'clock. I took medications and different things for my allergies, and I feel a little bit better today. And I woke up with a lot, beloveds, and I've been procrastinating by doing all of this and not just coming straight on because I've in the how can I say it, in the background, in the subconscious and the unconscious of the conscious, I have been processing it and pushing it around and pushing it over the plate and stretching it and looking at it and seeing just what it means. And I've been told um, that's an old habit of the mind. The mind says it needs to approve of what's going to come out in order for you not to appear crazy or sound crazy. And I'm like, okay, okay, okay. So what do I do? Me being me, I put on this orange red wig and blue makeup and everything else. Oh, we don't want to appear crazy? Okay. Okay, mind. We gonna say all of this and we're not gonna appear crazy. Okay? And so it's more settling down and it's more observing the mind through the spiritual lens. Yesterday, a card came through. Let me pause it. Let me just get that card because it has a lot to do with this information that I received or that was born or resurrected from this particular where I was led and guided to what came up before. So let me just get that card so I can point everything out to you. Okay, luckily it was, I won't say luckily, Spirit kept it right where it needed to be so it could be easily um, retrieved and re-examined and re-entered um, into the conscious awareness. Let me just show you this card again. And I want you to really look at it, especially that eye of Horus. And I'm going to read to you what the card says. But pay attention to the details, beloveds, of this card. See the wings, see the feathers, because that has a, see the golden orangish hues with the blue and the turquoise or the lapis lazuli. The eye of Horus, awakening divine perception. Now, this card came through yesterday, and I've spoken in a couple of my other videos about how, as a child, I would find or I was introduced to these fossils that were frozen in amber or topaz. like material. There would be insects inside it, or just specks of dust, or some kind of arrangement that I would look at and I would see. Again, this is the eye of Horus perception. Okay? I want you to pay attention to the right here. Right here. I hope you can see it. But that is what I was speaking of, frozen in amber. And again, over here in her, I hope, I know you probably can't see it that good, but I want you to see like their halos, okay? And they're amber in color. And that there are things inside of it, frozen inside of it. And like I said, this came to me as fossils. And she's holding that scepter, that winged, fossilized amber crystal, and she's pointing to Horus. She's pointing with her hand to Horus, and he's looking with swagger and with mission and with what he has received. Like I said, this card has so much potential to me. And again, Isis on here she has a feathered headdress on. Her staff has wings. Her headdress, it looks to be horns, but it also looks to be two birds. And it also looks to be, how do you say that? In Thanksgiving when you have the turkey and it has the wishbone. This reminds me of a wishbone, but I'm being told it's vulture of my aunt. And also you have the uraeus part, the snakes, right in that headdress as well. So there is so much here in this card. And again, this card came through yesterday, beloveds. And Horus has her back to her. Remember before in that, I think it was the Ten of Pipes card that came through when the little boy was behind the woman with the eagle on front of her. Let me get that card too. Hold on. Okay. And I was searching for this deck, and it was right there in front of me. See that white deck right there? It's right there, and I'm searching all, and it's right there. And the coyote was first, the trickster. And this was the next card because coyote came up in the reading. The four-legged coyote, totem of arrows. And coyote is the four-legged, so four-legged is earthbound. And I said that in the video with coyote. Coyote is also known as the trickster. Okay, so the trickster, that would be the devil's energy or Satan's energy or Saturn's energy or Set's energy. You don't know how he's coming. You don't know what you're going to judge as good or evil can be flipped inside of a mirror and have a different judgment or different outcome. And that was just the catalyst that you needed, whether you saw it as good or bad. That's the trickster energy. It brings you what you need, whether you identify it as good or bad. That's on you. Okay. This is the Ten of Pipes, the little boy behind her. And I said he was the spirit behind her. And the eagle on her yellow, golden breast. okay, and the purples that she's dealing with. And I spoke of the halls. And also I said they looked like feathers hanging down and different dimensions. And I spoke of the stars. I'll try to go back and put that video in the links of this one. But there's a lot here. I'm not going to read this card because this is not a tarot reading video. But it is a video that is connecting the dots and going back and getting the eggs that were given. It is finding the eggs that were there within the other videos. And so it's all linked together, beloveds. See the similarities. See the messages. Many of them I don't have to point out to you. Many of them you can see on your own. And these cards are, you can Google them and find it. This card is from the Isis Oracle by Alana Fairchild. Isis Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And this one is The Medicine Woman by Carol Bridges. And beloveds, this is the Ten of Pipes. And this is the Eye of Horus. Awakening divine perception. Seeing, knowing that you're not alone in what you're doing and what you're going through. And the initiations that are happening to you. And whether they are bad in your mind, bad meaning hurtful, painful, traumatic, negative, good meaning they're positive, they're okay, you enjoyed it, it was healing to you. Both help you grow. Both give you, both help awaken your perception. Both allows you the Eye of Horus. When I spoke of this card on that previous video, I said it was the Eye of HERU. And I didn't know why that came up, why it needed to be seen as the Eye of HERU. The Eye of HERU is Jerusalem. The Eye of Jerusalem. HERU SALEM. HERU SALEM. HERU SALEM. Perception. Jerusalem is the temple. This is the eye of the temple. This eye of the temple was born through Isis. Isis is the winged lady. We are introduced to the winged lady. She has many names, but we're going to focus on the winged lady as Isis and as Lilith right now. Okay? And I want you to understand the dynamics of each of those tellings, those stories, those morals, those depths, those orbs, those fossilized in amber and topaz stories that are stopped or frozen in time for you to gaze upon with the eyes of HERU. There are many, many, many stories, and so many of them are so twisted in order to preserve a certain narrative, a narrative that is untrue. So, to make it plain, to enforce a lie. So you have the truth, and you twist that truth just a little bit. You tweak it just a little bit. You shift it just a little bit. And you call it, it's just a white lie. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. It's not a bad lie. And part of it was true. And that's just how you took it. I didn't mean it that way. That was in you to take it. Don't that sound very narcissistic? Don't that sound like the snake that was sentenced to crawl on its belly on the earth, that lost its ability to fly? It came to me, and I've done many of these videos, beloveds. The Lilith came through. Adam and Eve came through. The whole scene from the movie Noah came through, the last movie that was made of Noah. And I can't think of the characters right now, but they spoke of Tubal-Cain, and Tubal-Cain killed one of the unicorns, and all of this was in that movie. And Tubal-Cain snuck on the ark through one of Noah's sons. Okay, he was influenced by one of Noah's sons, was influenced by Tubal-Cain. And Tubal-Cain got on the ark and he did what he did in the movie, and you saw that, and you saw how that energy survived the flood. Okay. But I want you to go back again to that movie, and you have humanity presenting itself in two forms. One form is Cain's children, and Cain's children are Adam's children, okay? And Adam's children are what? Violent. They're liars. They want to claim land. They want to take and steal and rape and plunder and hurt. They're very narcissistic. Those are Adam's children. But on the other hand, you have Lilith's children. And Lilith's children observe Cain's children and say, we don't want to be like them. We're not going to eat meat. We're not going to kill unless we have to, unless, in defending or preserving. We don't do that from the heart of just wanting to do that. That is not, we don't intend to harm. We don't go around seeking to harm. We don't go around seeking to stir the shit pot. We don't go around seeking to take what is not ours. And so this stories, like I said, is very, it's coming up again. It's coming up. Listen to the words. It's ascending within me once again in the spring season and cycle. And this is the cycle of resurrection through the eyes of antiquity, not just Christianity, because the seeds were planted and winter came and they were thought barren or dead, but in the spring they do what? They rise. And we're speaking of wildflowers and wild fruits and wild things, things that don't need to be planted. but that already are in existence. And this is what they do. And humankind has learned to come to agriculture through what they have observed. Okay, they know when it's time to plant, when it's time to harvest, and they know all of this by observing. I want to keep it tight, beloved, so let me just get back to the whole Lilith and Adam thing. Lilith and Adam were created equal to each other. The understanding was made in our image, okay? That wasn't good enough for Adam. Let me say that again. That was not good enough for Adam. He resented Lilith. He resented her being his equal. Because that made him feel what? Narcissistic. He began to look upon himself and see less. And so Lilith got tired of being hurt and trying to please Adam. And she left. And the story said she used God's names and she sprouted wings and she flew away. Wings. Wings. And let me bring that back into focus with the wheels within the wheels and all the creatures and all the beings. The human, the lion, the eagle, the man, the bull. Those are seasons and cycles. So there are seasons and cycles when you are in each one of those gears. You are in the gear of the flyers, to fly high, to ascend on a higher conscious level, to expand your conscious awareness. There are seasons and cycles when you're going to be that four-legged bull, stubborn, hard-headed, and unable to learn, but you're going to have to go through things manually, through the physical, to learn more manually in the labor. The lion, it's a different kind of strength. It's a different kind of four-legged that you're going to need to navigate. And the man, two-legged. And you're going to have to access each one of these aspects of your spirit. The bull, the eagle, the man, the lion. And understand that there are wheels within wheels within wheels. But even these four have a higher one that governs them. And you have to be aware of all. That is where this card comes from, and this card comes from. 10 being the resurrected, the one with the 0 again. And the boy, we'll call him HERU, HORUS, behind her, watching in joy and bliss as she creates from the clouds. This bird flies, what she's creating. And she's mother birds because she's got it on her breast, on her chest. So we'll call her Isis. And we see it here in this card. The same thing. Awakening divine perception. Seeing through the eye of Horus. I'm not speaking occultic, hidden knowledge. I'm speaking what is in plain sight, what you use your spiritual eyes to see, to bear witness to. Everything that is happening in front of you right now, it's not new. It has stories, layers underneath it. It is just the tip of the iceberg presenting itself to you. Don't just be aware of the tip. Be aware of the entire iceberg and what it represents and how its layers were formed. And what is the science? What is the wisdom? What is the meaning and the message behind just seeing a point of it or a certain aspect of it, the tip of it, and not seeing the bottom of it? Excuse me, I got a lot going on with this allergy stuff, beloveds. So it is what it is. Let me take a sip of tea here. Getting back to the Lilith story and the Adam story, like I said, a lot has been twisted. These symbols and these signs of the divine feminine, her presence, and what she goes through within her cycles and seasons is also tied to the woman in Revelations, in the Bible, the last book of the Bible, and how the dragon is against this woman, and this woman is pregnant and getting ready to give birth, and the earth receives this woman and protects her. And the dragon is pissed off. He's pissed off at the earth because he can't put his hands on her. And he's pissed off at the woman. And the woman has the child and she goes back. And the dragon or this beast, whatever you want to call it, it wages war against the woman, not against her children. It wages war against her. So I want you to understand the divine feminine aspect that is being pointed out in all of this. And that divine feminine aspect is able to ascend out of difficult situations. And she's able to do that not through her mind, but through her wings. Okay? Wings are spiritual, baby. That mind, that is physical. That is mass. That is gray matter. That has manifested and holds records of its narcissistic existence and keeps creating that. But when you're able to fly up out of that, can't nothing hold you. And it is foretold that this dragon or this beast would only have a short limited of time to wage war against this woman. The same thing with Lilith. She would be able to have so many children, but so many of her children would also be killed. So you have the war of powers and principalities. And this war takes place in the mind. And the mind manifests its vortex, its chaos, its magnetic field. And the universe answers that and produces what it needs. That is the eye of HERU. That is the eye of the temple, of the sacred temple, of the holy temple, of that which is born of the temple, that which came through the temple. Horus came through Isis. Another thing that Spirit wanted me to convey and make plain is the word gospel. Go spell. God's spell. God's spell. What is God's spell? Unconditional love. What is the opposite of unconditional love, beloveds? It's war. It's war. It's fear. It's hate. It's war. What does a mother, a true mother, hate? Don't want to see coming because she know what it means. War. That war is going to take and take and take and take and take from her powers and principalities. This is a man's world, baby. Another thing that I'm told to bring forth that blew my mind was the bald-headed Oscar ceremony. And I say that not to make fun of it, because maybe I'm just a bald-headed as I want to be right now, and those that know me know that, okay? And for me, it's never about the hair, because when I had hair, it was down to my ass, down to my waist, down to my arms, wavy and thick and beautiful, and I couldn't stand it. I hated it. Why? Because everybody else thought it was beautiful, and they wanted to judge me because I had pretty hair, and they didn't. And now that I'm old enough to got enough sense, God said, what do you value? What have you not valued that I have given you in abundance? And you let somebody else put something in your mind and twist it till you don't love yourself. So you serving who? You serving their hate. You on your hands and knees bending over to their image of you. See it. See it. See it. Are you creating bliss and unconditional love and freedom? Or are you creating ways of bondage and slavery and more darkness and more lies and more snares and more cages? Is that what you're building, architect? Or is that what you're tearing down, architect? And rebuilding the HERU, SALEM, there is so much in this 2022, which is a 6, 222. Look at 222. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up in Riding the Beast. Look up the number 2 in Riding the Beast. Multiply it. Look up what this 2. Lilith and Adam in our image. 2. Multiply and be fruitful. Divide and conquer. Give and take. Look at the polarities. Look at the magnetism, the fields between them that are created, that continue to war between each other because of the frequencies of chaos, confusion, and lies. You take away that chaos, you take away that confusion, you take away those lies, what do you have? You have the unconditional love. And what comes with unconditional love? Naturally, instinctively, intuitively? Peace. Peace, baby, peace. Peace. Getting back to that bald-headed Oscar show, I'm just going to bring up what, and I'm wrestling with this because I'm looking at it from a point of observation, which is just saying, just observe it, just see it. Don't get attached to anything that's going on. Just bear witness to it. There ain't nothing new you ain't seen before. Just see it. Recognize it for what it is, from your point of view, from your unique perspective. See it. Know it. Experience its existence. Again. Hair. Oscar is bald-headed. Jada Pinkett's head is shaven. The word alopecia. The first song that her daughter made, Willow, I Whip My Hair, through Jay-Z. And you have Beyonce performing at the Oscars. And you had Megan Thee Stallion coming out in a dress that looked like the one that Beyonce wore on Lemonade. What is it? Bruno? No, no, no. Whatever happened. We don't talk about Bruno. No, no, no. And there were a few more peculiarities in that. I didn't watch it. I am not led to watch it. I'm looking at what is arising up from it. And I'm just, like I said, I'm observing. I'm observing all of it from all the angles. Because it all has a message. It's all tied together. All are pieces of a larger puzzle. All of it is bigger than us. All of it is ancient. It's not just what's happening we see in our time right now. This represents something much older. It's made in the image of something much older. And we're being these images are freeze frozen in our minds, and we're being, look at them, what's changing in them, what needs to change in them, what needs to be readjusted and realigned in them. And the adjusting and realigning in them is going to cause what? I believe it's called, it just left, matriculation in the multiverses in the future. And so, beloveds, we are actively right now changing our futures by how we are using the eye of HERU to perceive and to see the things taking place in front of us. Motion pictures, freeze frames, and though it's sped up or it's reversed or it's slowed down. And we call this time. Be more aware. Be more aware. Be more present in each frame and in each shot. And see in each shot what tick, 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 tock changes. And what's added and what's taken away. And the milliseconds make a difference when you subtract them out, when you take them away from the story, or when you add more into the story. These lies, when you keep adding more of these lies into the story, into the mix, you're changing the flavor. You're changing the outcome from the original recipe. The cycle and season that we're in is called by the Christians Easter, and by the pagans Ostera. Look it up, beloveds. I learned all of this when I was a little girl as a Jehovah's Witness, not supposed to celebrate these pagan holidays because there were hidden occultic meanings in the images and the symmetry that was being woven together in the stories. Things were added, things were subtracted. Rabbits and eggs and coloring the Easter eggs and doing it goes so much deeper. And many of us just go along with the what? It's just a tradition. It's just a holiday. It doesn't mean anything. We just cook a damn ham and paint some damn eggs and make some desserts, and the family gathers around the table. What's wrong with that, Valerie? Everything is everything, baby. And if you don't know the everything that is attached to that, and you're sitting up there going through these rituals, you're amening it, you're hallelujah in it. Eyes of HERU. See it, perceive, know. Do you belong in that ritual? What belongs? What has been added to that should not be there? What has been taken away that should not have been taken away? What does it mean? Ten of Pipes. Will can't go back to that Oscar thing for 10 years. Pan's pipe. Like I said, the mind can come up with all of this stuff. The spirit observes the mind. The spirit is not attached to what the mind comes up with. If your mind is so hungry and thirsty for what? Knowledge. Knowledge of good and evil. Guess what you're going to do? Guess what that mind is going to do? It's going to endlessly keep you in a loop of the knowledge of good and evil. Seeking, and as soon as you finish, aha! Eureka! I've got that and I solved that. Guess what? Here come the mirror. Here come the polar. Here come the magnetized positive and negative aspects of it that you didn't see, that you didn't account for. Because the mind had did what? Oh, it hid it and it kept it a secret, and only certain people can know this, and only certain people can know. Baby, we spoke of the rabbit hole and going down it. Spirit knows itself. Spirit don't have to keep playing these games. It doesn't have to keep going along with the minds. Oh, it's this run. Look, you're going to miss it. Hurry up. It's a very intimidating process to wean yourself away from the holy grail of the knowledge of good and evil. And when you participate in that, unconditional love is immediately submerged into your unconsciousness. Unconditional love becomes unconscious to you. It's like it's an anchor that you've dropped in the water, and it's slowly sinking farther and farther and farther and farther and farther down until you don't even know what's holding you into this world. And you think it's something outside of you that has you tethered here in this moment because you're so detached. You're so busy looking at the birds, the water, the air, the people, the colors, what's going on in the waters, that you've forgotten what's holding you in place, that anchor, your spirit. There's so much, beloveds. There is so much. And again, the coyote with this, the four-leggeds, okay? In those wheels upon wheels upon wheels, there are two four-legged creatures. There's the bull and the lion. The bird has two. The man has two. That is not knowledge of good and evil. That is wisdom to be discerned. What keeps you earthbound? What keeps you among the beasts? grounded. And what allows you to walk on the earth and to lift yourself up into the air. Unconditional love. Of self. Like I said, look into the stories, beloveds. They're there. There are many versions of them, and what I do is I pray. What I do is I use my instincts and my intuition. I'm a light. I'm being of light. Higher vibration. Higher vibration has its own energy signature, and you can find it in whatever. And I don't care how dense and how buried it is. If it's there, you can recognize it. And you can allow it to communicate to you, frequency to frequency. Frequency to frequency. Namaste. My spirit and your spirit. We become one. Don't let this world and its masks and its masquerades and this world's kings and queens and princes and princesses and all of their kingdoms fool you, because they Humpty Dumpty, baby. Humpty Dumpty gonna have a great fall. And all the king's men and all the king's horses won't be able to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Okay? Prophesy. Perception. And beloveds, one moment here, because this card, the eagle, when I went to get the coyote and the 10 of pipes, guess what was next to it? The eagle. Hold on 1 second while I read this, and just get you some water or something for a minute. Just let everything go for a minute and let what's finna come be medicine right now. This is the final part of this video. It has the message that is going to tie everything up. I have not looked and read this particular card in a very long time. So I am very curious to see. This is the totem of pipes. This was the totem of arrows. And this was the 10 of pipes. And these all come from the Medicine Woman card. Medicine Woman Carol Bridges deck. And that was the first deck that I received, that I was able to learn from, because it did not strip away. It was not the divination that I was taught not to go into. I'll put it that way. It was not the divination of the lower, darker frequencies. There's a higher and a lower. Carol Bridges is of the higher form, okay, and frequency. It's medicine. And it resonated, like I said, it resonated with my spirit, with my Native American heritage, with my instincts and my intuition. That's what you use to judge something. Not what nobody else tell you and say about it. Use your spirit to test spirit, baby. Use your spirit to test spirit, okay? And let me, like I said, let me get this book so I can go here and finish this video. Okay, I got the book. 10 of Totem of Pipes. Totem of Pipes. Totem of Pipes. 178. So that's 8 and 8, and that's a 16, and that's a 7. Okay. 178. All right. Totem of Pipes. Eagle. The Flyers. Prayer. I am a warrior of the inner realms, striking out against the errors I see from my being. I see with my beam of tranquility. I am an artist at life. Yet still, life teaches me every day to sharpen my skills. I am learning to create in the outer world, the inner world I see. I am a student, eager to succeed, for success brings light to the darkness. Yet I know that even while I contain the truth and am anxious to make change, I must be patient and walk in balance. I must keep the inner peace I am learning to have, the eagle's eye, to watch quietly until it is time to act impeccably. Lesson. There are things to learn from all kingdoms of nature. The eagle flies higher than any bird, thus has become a symbol of higher vision, seeking the total picture. And what did we get from HERU? Eye of Horus, awakening divine perception. She's pointing to him. That pointer finger. That pointer finger came up in the videos too, beloveds. Pointing to that which comes through. See from that which comes through. See from the sun. See from that light. See from that angle. That which is born. Firstborn. All the flyers have wings. They rise above humans, using their energy to soar on the winds. You will be coming into contact with one of the flyers. Learn from them. Watch and listen. Let them be your teacher now. Practice what they teach. Wow. So much, beloveds. Like I said, there's so much. There's so very much. So very much. Again, the two-leggeds, the four-leggeds, the flyers, the wings. Beloveds, it is all here. It is all connected together. The message is what it is. These are threads that you need to weave together. However you choose to weave them together. However you choose to use them. 2 cards were pipes. 1 card was arrows. I want you to think of what pipes do. When I think of pipes, my very first thought when it comes to sound and music is the organ pipes. You know, the old gospel organ pipes that make their funky, funny noise. I think of the pipes that are blown, the horns that are blown. I think of the radiator pipes when I was little and we were growing up and the heat came through them, the steam heat, and they would make all that noise. And they would rattle. And they had a smell to them. perceive with new eyes, see. Nothing is new under the sun but your perception and your insight. That grows, that shifts, that changes as you mature. The more you experience life, the more your view will change. And what should change is your unconditional love. That should become more apparent to you. And by that becoming more apparent to you, there was another card that was pulled yesterday. Good Lord. I'll just put the video in the box, beloveds. But that card had a spiral for an eye, and it had 6 beings as a collective coming with each as a perspective to assemble its own thoughts. And so, beloveds, there's very deep messages coming through right now. And if one of these videos don't resonate, look at another one. And if the other ones don't resonate for you, don't worry about it. It'll be there. And it may be 6 months, it may be a year, it may be 10 years from now, and all of a sudden, bam! Epiphany. It's going to all align and make sense for you. So if you're hearing it, don't hear it from a place of, is it right or is it wrong? Is it necessary or unnecessary? Who is she? And blah, 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 blah. If you're coming across it and it interests you, Spirit wanted you to be led to it. And if it don't feed you and satisfy you right now, it will. It will at some point. And you'll be able to make the connection. Just as I have, just as many before me have. No one has all the answers. And that is the truth of right and wrong, good and evil, and the knowledge of it. You'll never know. How many licks does it take? Varies. Everybody got different tongue. Everybody got a different amount of spit in their mouth. How are you going to say, well, it takes 10 licks? For you, maybe. We are individuals. We are individual expressions of existence. We are diverse because that is the wisdom of diversity. That is the wisdom of the laws of the universe. You want to know yourself? Learn those laws of the universe. Look through that lens at everything that comes and happens. Use it as a measuring rod, as a guiding rod of discernment. Use it as a staff to support you when you walk and when you speak. And when you need to be silent, hold it and let it speak your presence for you. You are never alone in anything you do, beloveds. You are never here without information. That information is inside of you. It is not outside of you. If you want to look for it outside of you, guess what? You're going to be looking all your life. And you're never going to be satisfied with what you get. Because what you're looking for is you. You are everything and nothing all at the same time. And until you are humble enough to accept that, everything else is It's going to come and go. It's going to come and go in cycles and seasons. Okay, beloveds, that is going to do it for me. Is there anything else, Spirit? The rabbit holes. Who were the first? And we dealt with the four-legged. The rabbit has 4 legs. The snake has none. Crawls on his belly. But the fact that it says you are now going to crawl on your belly means that at one time it must have had some legs, or it must have had something for that to be said that way. But going back to where I am right now, the worm. The worm is neither male nor female. The worm goes through the earth. It's blind, but it's as sensitive as I don't know what. And what is it most sensitive to? The rain. My point is, there are many things that dig holes into the earth, that burrow, okay? That bury their eggs in the earth. The whole thing with Lilith coming through, having her children, the earth taking her children, that's like being in a cave or a cavern. Okay, she laid her eggs, so to speak. And then she flew away, protected. There's so much in this spring time. Images, symbols, signs, and seasons that are ancient and that we have accepted them from those who wish to lie, from those who wish us not to know and love ourselves unconditionally, from those who wish us to be stupid and just open your mouth and swallow. Let me bird. Swallow that. Not judging it by the spirit. Just taking it in, taking it in, taking it in. This whole thing with Putin, this whole thing, like I said, with the Oscars, there's so much there. That bald head, that egg-shaped head, there's so egghead. What does egghead represent? Look it up in the dictionary, in the Urban Dictionary. Look it up in the slang. What is an egghead? Okay? There's so much. There's so many words. There's so many labels. There's so many frequencies that are addressed and that are being addressed and that you need to decode and decipher in order to get the truth, because the truth has been hidden by the occult. And Spirit is saying it's time for this truth to come out. And let the truth fight the truth. You don't need to battle the truth. You don't need to argue with nobody. Well, this is the truth. And what you've been doing, you don't need to do that. As long as you know what the truth is, stay in your lane. Tanji Brown Jackson, I love you, sister. My aunt. As one door opens, another closes. There's black woman in, black man out. But the black man is representing what? The old boy network. That's how he got in. This black woman, this womb, what is she representing? Changing of the guards. Look at those who are supportive and look at those who are having fits. Look at those who are stirring the shit pot, and look at those who are cleaning. No more shit pot. No more. Nope. Get rid of that. You fired. You fired. You fired. We ain't having no more of that in our kitchen. We ain't serving that at our table no more. If that's what you need, that's the other thing. Thank you, Spirit. There is no delicate way to say this, beloveds. The whole Adam and Eve thing, this comes up with Lilith thing, this comes up with that. Again, the earth, what comes out of the earth. Again, the holes of the body, male and female holes, and reproductive holes, and the holes that we both have. We both have an anus. There's a hole in the penis, there's a hole in the vagina. But we both have. Life comes out of the penis and the vagina. Death, waste, filth comes out of the anus. For those who wish to subvert the truth, they prefer to feed and consume the death that comes out of the anus, rather than the life that comes forth from the penis and the vagina, the yoni. They don't want that energy. They don't want that frequency. They want that other. They have fetishized it. They have constricted and constructed all these rituals behind it. They have turned it into something from their minds. And they have attached labels and energies and frequencies to it that is just like, well, did God say you would die? You won't die. If you eat from this tree, from these roots, you won't die. Everything that glitters is not gold or golden. My grandmother taught me this story so long ago, and like I said, it is amazing how this is coming up again in this. She taught me, Valerie, say it's a party and you're going to get gifts for your birthday. And one gift is wrapped up and it's all beautiful and it's got all of these beautiful ribbons on it and it's so pretty and it's just sparkly with all this glitter and stickers and everything that you love on it. Look at all them Hello Kitties on there. Look at it. And then you get a little brown paper bag. That's what the other gift is in. A little brown paper bag. Ain't even got your name on it. Just crinkled over in here. Which one? And I got both of them in my hands. And I'm saying, Valerie, you can only have one of these. Which one would you choose, Valerie? Would you choose the one that's all sparkly and glittery and big and woo, just everything that you like is just calling to you? Or would you choose the little unadored brown one. Just a little brown, little greasy paper bag. Just, and I'm looking, and knowing grandma, you know, something to this, the catch to it. Be careful. There's something to this story. You know how this woman is. But what is the truth? Always tell the truth. I want the bright, pretty, shiny one with all the ribbons and then the this and the that. That's what I thought, Valerie. Guess what's inside of it? What? Dog shit. But what's in the brown bag? That wasn't. Oh, that's what your heart wanted. That's the doll that you wanted. That's the money to go buy the doll that you wanted. That's what you wanted. But because it didn't look a certain way, it didn't present itself in a certain way that you've been trained to lust after and drool over, you gonna go for the other one. And what has it got in it? Dog shit. So what did you get? What did you learn? I got the dog shit. I learned not to judge a book by its cover. I learned that things can look like one thing and fool you, lie to you. You know, the way you think about it. You're putting your hopes and expectations and dreams on it. And it's already what it is. And your hopes and expectations and dreams is not going to change it into something magically delicious. Dog shit is dog shit. My point being, beloveds, pay attention. Don't just use these eyes and the wisdom that comes from these eyes of what you can see. Use your third eye. Use the eye of HERU. Use awakening divine perception to see and view everything from that vantage point. Because that is the vantage point of unconditional love for you. And it's not going to judge. It's not going to condemn. It's just going to say, yes, that would benefit you. No, that's not for you at this time. And be okay with that. Learn to trust that. Say, okay, not for me at this time. Go about your business. Wisdom takes time, beloveds. Wisdom takes time. And what's the other one? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Lilith didn't put all her children in one basket because she knew there were forces coming to kill her babies. Okay? Understand that there are forces that are coming for you, that are wheels within wheels turning to consume you because of your life force, your light force, your frequency and your spectrum. And you, because you are of a higher vibration, are quite yummy. You attract. But as long as you stay you stay centered and you stay grounded and you use your divine perception and not just your eyes, you won't be fooled. You won't be eaten. You'll survive. What the Bible says, in those who endure to the end. Endure to the end. That means see all of this stuff. Know what it is. Don't go running out to chase it. Don't go running out to fix it. Time, that which is an illusion, is wheels within wheels within wheels, already working it out. Be aware of that. Be aware of that. And know that it requires nothing of you but to keep yourself pure, clean, untainted by all of this stuff. Do not get attached to drama, trauma, and the people that serve it up daily. Okay, beloveds, be careful. Be careful. And look into the heart and the intentions of people. What is your, okay, you're doing all of this and you're saying all of this. What is your intention behind it? Is your intention to make money? Is your intention to help human beings? Is your intention to just expand conscious awareness? What is the bottom line? What is your intention? Observe people long enough. It'll come to you. All these conscious communities and we gave this to the homeless and to the poor and we did this and we gardened this and we raised this and we did that and we did. What does the Bible say? Jesus said, get away from me, I don't know you. Why? Because you're lawless in your heart, in your thoughts. You're not connected. That's a false light. That's a false frequency. And I see you. See yourself. Some people believe their own hype, beloveds. Many of us did before we became enlightened or began our conscious expanding enough to know that we were waking up from an unconscious state into a conscious state, into a subconscious and then a conscious state. There are layers, beloveds. Everybody is not at the same place. So don't judge everybody by one. Can't do that. Allow the change. Allow the shift. Allow the addition and the subtraction. Allow the universal laws to do what they were designed to do. Do not take it upon yourself to think you're going to go and make something different. The only thing that you can influence and affect is your own mind. Do that. Everybody else can see from that. You don't have, well, what's different about you? What are you doing? I'm loving me. I'm putting me first. I'm not worried about the world. The world can take care of itself. Discern, beloveds. Discern with your heart, not your mind, not your eyes, not your wallet or your needs or your expectations. We get lost in that. Okay, that's going to do it, beloveds. Namaste and thank you.